Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Love Kind Good. On this channel, I share my experiences and things that are going on in my life on a weekly basis. Sometimes life gets in the way and I don't post regularly on Sundays, like this week. So I wanted to share this story with you guys because we have been on this journey together for a few weeks now. I've been on the journey for months and you've picked up a few weeks ago, I think. And that was my solo camping trip. So this video is about whether it was a camping failure or a self-care victory. So I explained to you guys the last video that I was going to bring you guys along with me. And so that's exactly what I've done. So enjoy the following clips of my camping excursion, and we'll pick it back up after these videos end. Hi everyone. So it's Wednesday morning, like maybe it's 7 o'clock now. I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but I wanted to jump on here and I wanted to start documenting this because I am building up to going camping, and you know, my anxiety is getting higher and higher as I get closer to it. And originally I was going to go Friday night and Saturday night and come back Sunday. And the weather on Friday night is going to be very cold. I think 36 degrees or 2 degrees Celsius, something like that. And so I got a lot of anxiety about going at that cold of a temperature. So what I decided to do was go Saturday morning and then come back Sunday morning. I'm going out there for a specific reason, and so it's not the length of time, it's the actual act of doing it that is the important part. And so when I was booking the campsite, it was like a 2-day minimum, and I was like, well, I'm not staying 2 days. And then I got into this like loop of like, oh, you can't do that. And then I started looking for other places and like other campsites, and I was just like, no. I was like, you know what, just your check-in is at 2, so why don't you just tell them that you booked 2 nights because you came in the morning? Or, you don't even have to say anything, just go and check in. So I'm making the storyline up in my head, and it's causing this anxiety. So I wanted to go ahead and start documenting this because I feel like this is pertinent information to overcoming that fear. And you guys are following along watching this, so I don't want to just start filming a video of a tent popped up and everything's great. I want to document the challenges of getting to that point. So I appreciate you guys, and continue watching for the rest of this camping trip experience. Take care. Good morning. Okay, so I said I was going to document this day, and this is my best effort at doing that. So I packed everything. I've been doing that. I made some food. I'm not very good at the whole camping food thing, and literally this is just a 24-hour trip, so it's going to be... The car is full, and for 24 hours, this is a lot of effort. So I'm hoping to get a lot out of this. But I woke up this morning with this cough, and so I'm hoping it's, I don't know, just weather related or something. It's been really warm, and I have allergies, so I'm hoping it's that. But we're gonna push forward because it's 24 hours, and this is something that I've been working towards doing. So I feel pretty good. In fact, I think I'm just ready to get on with it. I've been doing a lot of work leading up to this point. So, but the car's packed. Maybe I'll give you a little glimpse of how full it is. I was kind of shocked. I guess there's a lot of stuff. Anyways, and the cooler's really big for a 24-hour trip. So there's like literally nothing in there. But I got to stop and get ice. So come along as we go camping today.
Okay, so literally the car's full. The back seat has supplies, clothes, and the very back has firewood and cooler. All right. So we're gonna head to the campsite now. I don't think like the office or whatever is open till 11, but there are some trails around a lake there, and so we're gonna go and I'm just gonna do some hiking before setting up the tent. All right. So we're gonna head out. It's a beautiful day, so. Okay, so I kept driving to the campsite. I think I'm like 5 miles away. But I've decided that I don't feel good and all I want to do is lay in bed. And so I think I am going back home. Part of me feels like a failure for doing it. But then the other part of me is like, it's going to be cold. And if I'm sick, I don't want to get more sick. So maybe try again next week? I don't know. So I'm sitting in a parking lot of some business, and I'm gonna think about this for a minute. I do have cough medicine, and I did take some this morning, and I do have some nighttime cough medicine with me. I just don't want to make it worse, and really, I'm just achy, and so all I want to do is just crawl back in bed. So perhaps I'll do that. Okay, so welcome back. And as you can see, it was not a good experience. That last video was me in some business's parking lot, literally like 5 miles away from the campsite, which is only like 35-40 minutes from my house. And and I don't think it's very clear from the video, but I did end up coming back home, and it was such a good call. It was such a good call to come back home because I got back. It was Saturday morning. I got here like got settled back in around lunchtime. I did not unpack the car. I made myself lunch and then I went back to bed and I was miserable. Sunday, I came to enough to go to Walmart to get a flu and COVID test. At the time, they were both negative, so I just assumed it was just a cold and I would get better. But felt ill Sunday, Monday. Today is Tuesday. Wait, what day is today? Today is Wednesday. Sorry about that. So early Tuesday morning, my fever finally broke, and I was concerned that an infection might set in or something like that because I'd kind of been mucusy. And so I contacted my doctor, and he was like, sounds like you had the flu. And I was like, well, I tested. And he's like, would you mind testing again for me? And I bought a double pack of tests when I was at Walmart. So I had an extra test on me. So I tested again, and they say to wait 15 minutes for a clear response, and like literally like within 5 minutes, it was clear that it was COVID or not COVID. It was clear that it was flu A, and so, but the fever broke. I guess it was Tuesday morning around 3 a.m. I woke up and I was like, what's going on? It felt weird. And that's when like I took my temperature and it was, normal-ish. It had been hovering around like 103 or whatever, or 101. Sorry, I'm still not even thinking straight. 100 to 101, which is like around 37, 38 degrees Celsius. And I was I'm still a little foggy, but so it's been more than 24 hours without symptoms. I did start some medication to feel better as well. And so, so I wanted to talk about this because, I struggled with turning around. I was, all week long, my body had been tired. I'd been going. I went to a concert on Wednesday, and my body had been saying like, I need you to rest. I need you to not do so much. And like Thursday, my plan was to just rest. And then my friend was like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while because he's been sick. And so I was like, okay, all right, I'll come out. We'll go get a coffee and hang out for a second. So I did that. And then like I had a date on Friday. It was just nonstop. And my body was like, that's crazy. Well, on Wednesday night when I was at the concert, we ran into some friends. And I was looking at my journal here, and like I literally had said, like one of my friends was explaining his intuition, and I had told him to lean into it, and I was literally journaling that. But that same advice is necessary for me to hear as well. And I neglected that intuition. My intuition was saying, you need to slow down, you need to take it easy, you're doing too much. I started a new job about a month ago, and I'm really struggling with the work-life balance, the managing my social schedule with my work schedule. It was easy to do all my social activities when I wasn't working because that gave me something to do. But now I almost have too much to do. And so, excuse me. And so now, but you know what? While I was driving to the campsite, I kept rehearsing this in my head, like, oh my God, I don't feel good. All I want to do is crawl back in bed. And something just, you could tell when you knew it was serious. And I didn't want to come back home, and I didn't want to think that I was sick. Because you guys know I have worked so hard on overcoming these fears around going camping alone, and I had this whole healing journey that I was going to do while I was out there. It was only gonna be 24 hours. And but for some reason it just wasn't time to do that journey this past weekend. And thank goodness I listened to the intuition finally. I sat there in that parking lot. I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom was like, oh, well, you're just going to be laying around the campsite, da, da, da. And something about that conversation just did not resonate with me. So I was like getting this anxiety. So I pulled over to that parking lot, and I was sitting there, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I just need to let you go. I need to sit with this. I need to feel this and see what comes from this. And I looked at the weather, and it was going to be 36 degrees in the morning. So I don't know, what's that, 3 degrees or whatever. And Celsius. And so I was sitting there, and I was just like, Josh, what do you want? What do you want to do? And, that's not something that I'm used to asking myself. Typically what Josh does is he goes along with whatever anyone else does or whatever anyone else will judge him off of. And that's growth. One, that's growth to admit that. And two, it's growth to see that and then make a decision in my best interest. And so I was sitting there and I asked myself, Josh, what do you want to do right now? What do you want? And the only thing that would come to my mind was that I want to crawl back in my bed. And the level of peace that came from that, it was just like, okay, then that's what you will do. And so I turned around and I headed back home. And, thank goodness I did, because I was seriously sick. It was not pretty. And I'm alone. And so there were thoughts that were like, there were thoughts that were like, if I were to die, like who would find me? And so like I made sure to call my mom frequently. My good friend Rachel, I made sure I called her, and yeah, and so luckily I made it. It's now Wednesday, and it's actually Wednesday morning. Some storms were moving through, so we were on a 2-hour delay at work today. So I'm actually filming this before work, and so. Yeah, so lessons here are listen to your intuition, and you're not a failure for putting yourself and your needs first, no matter what it is. For me, it was this solo camping trip that I've worked really hard on. All the work that I had done was not in vain. It's still there. I'm still working on that. And, over the last couple weeks, I think I mentioned in the last video, that realization that this camping trip was about me pushing myself past my comfort zone, that is massive. Just to have that level of recognition and to see like the why behind it is incredible. So now I have an idea for my next video, which hopefully will get out on time for you on Sunday. But I appreciate you all, and until next time, take care of yourself. Self-care. This is a self-care victory. Take care. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.